Incredible! You must be reading my thoughts, my dear. I was in fact hoping to have the opportunity to speak with you.
What is this about?
You might have remarked that we've been the targets of frequent attacks. These groups of hired assassins practically breathing down our necks wherever we go.
They are difficult not to notice, indeed. Do you know why they are after us?
They're after me. In fact, it all started when I was still on assignment in Alima. At first, it was just child's play. A poisoned cup of tea here, a clumsy person attempting to stab me in a dark alley there. But the attacks became more and more troublesome and dangerous. I began to fear for my life. It was partly for that reason that I didn't hesitate when given the opportunity to join our little adventure, and accepted to help our friend Alvida. I thought that by being always on the move, I would escape these attacks. I was wrong, as you've been able to see.
Forgive me this question, but aren't the assassins your own family's henchmen?
My family uses them often, that's true. But anyone can hire them to get rid of someone. However, I wouldn't be surprised to learn that the person who placed a bounty on my head shares my family name. Since we are in my uncle's good graces, I would ask him for his official protection.
Is he truly capable of doing something about this? After all, you are already at the Vesp, and that hasn't stopped the assassins.
That is true, but believe me, there is a difference between simply being a part of the family and benefiting from the prince's official protection. If His Majesty Alexandra de Vesp announces that I am his protected ward, the assassins will think twice before attempting anything against us again. I would, therefore, if you accept, like you to accompany me so that I might present this request to my uncle. Going there alone is a little too risky these days.
Let's go now. We need to settle this business as quickly as possible.
Thank you. I need to warn you that we will certainly be asked for something in exchange for this. But our survival, alas, depends on it. At least for as long as I travel among you.
Now that you're once again in the prince's good graces, do you intend to resume your role as a diplomat for the congregation?
Do you wish for me to leave, or does the idea sadden you? I hope it's the second answer, because I'm sorry to say that I don't plan on leaving your party anytime soon. I happen to enjoy your company very much.
So much the better. I wouldn't have wanted you to leave.
You wouldn't have wanted me to? Never forget, I am the master of my own destiny. I have had to bend to the will of others enough during my life to no longer want anyone to dictate my actions. It so happens that today our interests converge, but you should never take this situation for granted.
You're back! What can we do for you?
Sybil, do you have a request for the prince?
You're quite right, my dear. Uncle, I request your official protection.
My dear Sybil, I find you submerged in agitation today. You who are usually such a ray of sunshine. Whatever makes you think that you're in need of my official protection? Could it be that someone pushed one of their infamous farces a tad too close to the sinister or macabre?
Something like that, yes. It just so happens that hired assassins have been after me, and now also my companions for the last few months. And I'm afraid that despite my talent for foiling nefarious plots and the exemplary courage of my companions, they might very well succeed in their endeavor. Someone has placed a bounty on my head, and you know better than anyone what that means.
Quite right, my poor little dove. Nothing would please me more than to officially proclaim that you are not only my most beloved niece, but that you are also under my protection.
However...
Ah, you read me like a book. Come now, certain concerns merit more secrecy than others.
We will follow you.
There, we'll have a little tranquility here.
What sinister service are you preparing to ask of us in exchange for your protection, Uncle?
Come now, Sybil. Your imagination runs wild. It just so happens I have a problem. Someone is conspiring against me. It's nothing out of the ordinary, I've grown accustomed to it. But I fear that this time I might leave a few feathers behind. I'm almost certain that it concerns one of my mistresses. I could eliminate both of them, but who would then bring cheer to my nights? Your aunt, as you may not know, is a dreadful bore. Oh well. Find the guilty party, discover what's brewing, thwart the nefarious conspiracy, and I'll be happy to offer my official protection.
We shall take care of this, dear uncle.
Marvelous. But I imagine you have questions for me.
How did you ever come to suspect your concubines? Excuse me, your mistresses?
Several of my personal documents started disappearing. Nothing incredibly sensitive, but that began to arouse my suspicions. And quite recently, one of my spies at the D'Orsays reported that a woman from my entourage had approached them. My wife is... let's simply say that she is inoffensive. And I trust my daughter Aurelia blindly. I don't have any other women in my inner circle other than my two favorites, making my deduction quite simple.
Why entrust this mission to us?
Well, because my dear niece asked me to.
No, forgive me, that is not what I was wondering. There must be other people more adept at investigating the lives of your concubines.
I would like this affair to be kept under wraps. The slightest sign of weakness, and I am done. My dear little Sybil will say nothing because she needs me. And the same is true for you as well, if you ever want to see your homeland again.
Why not offer your niece your protection immediately? She could be killed while attempting to get to the bottom of your troublesome affair.
She has you with her. Make sure that she survives until then. As for the rest, I believe that most people need incentives to better carry out their missions.
We shall begin immediately.
Well, if you have no other questions on the matter, let's return to the great room.
Yes? What do you want?
We would like to ask you a few questions, if you don't mind.
Do you know to whom you're speaking? I am one of the prince's favorites, not some domestic servant that you can bother at will.
We know very well who you are, miss, and it is precisely for that reason that we would like to speak with you.
I recognize you now. You are that group of adventurers whose expedition to Tir Fredi the prince has decided to finance. And you're a de Vespe as well.
Sybil de Vespe, the prince's niece, at your service.
Very well, I'm all ears. But please be brief.
How long have you been the prince's favorite?
For 2 years. I am currently the mistress who has been with him the longest.
The one who survived the longest, you mean?
That is true. There were others before me, but alas, they are no longer of this world. Unfortunate accidents. Tragic. Why are you asking me all of these questions? They are putting me ill at ease, I admit.
What do you think about the prince's court?
If I thought ill of it, I would no longer be here. Everything carries on marvelously. I do not know what you hope to hear me say.
That it's a nest of vipers and assassins where one risks death at the slightest misstep every single day.
You must have left the court long ago, Lady de Vespe, because I assure you that today, your description is quite inaccurate. You have quite the imagination. Now, if you would excuse me, all these questions tire me, and I have much to do. I wish you a good day.
What's amazing about the nobility is their capacity to constantly stoop to new levels of indignity. Your uncle is a fine example.
Yes. If this agreement were to be revealed, the only course of action would be to abdicate, and quickly. No one in the congregation would forgive him for having thought to sell out his neighbors simply to gain support against the D'Orsays.
What the... How did you get in here?
We followed your instructions. They were rather precise.
And so you read my diary? I would have done better to burn it. I beg you not to reveal to the prince what you've learned. He'll have me killed.
That's a fact. But why did you want to betray him? I can understand that being the favorite of my uncle would be unpleasant. But from there to wanting to provoke his downfall?
Because he would have eventually had me killed. I could tell that he was beginning to become bored with me, and when that happens, we simply disappear. As for me, I just wanted to survive, to use the secrets he keeps to buy my protection, just like your parents did for you.
What are you saying?
You didn't know. Here, read this letter. Perhaps you'll be less eager to denounce me after reading it.
This resembles my mother's handwriting. How is this possible?
If I were the prince, I'd be sleeping with one eye open.
I would like nothing more than to post this letter on a public board, revealing to all his perfidious corruption.
Sybil, are you all right?
Yes. Forgive my sudden silence, but the letter from my parents has upset me. I didn't expect such despicable infamy. To the point that I'm wondering if we shouldn't return the document in question to my uncle. I know that he is financing our expedition, and that we will have to return to him and invent something concerning his favourite, but I believe that I would be better off seeking the protection of the D'Orsays. I am certain that they would grant it if they were given such a document.
I understand your sentiment and I share it. The D'Orsays seem to be the preferred protectors by far.
Oh well. We can think it over on the way.
I hate to be a killjoy, and believe me, I would love to send this horrid villain to an early grave. But the prince is financing our expedition. We are going to have to tell him something.
You're back! What can we do for you?
As you asked, we have undertaken an investigation of your favorites.
And? Were you able to identify which one is preparing to betray me?
We were not able to determine which of your favorites plans to betray you.
I see. It just so happens the culprit revealed herself during her escape, and I've already given her name to my assassins. Velusa will soon be held accountable. That said, it would seem that she had the time to steal a document of great importance from my desk. If you are not able to return it to me quickly, I must consider that you have failed your mission, and our little agreement no longer holds. You will have to assure the protection of my dear niece yourself.
I can assure you that we are going to do everything in our power to recover this document.
Hurry. I would be sorry to hear that something has happened to my charming niece while you're tracking it down.
Dear friends, what a pleasure to see you again. Do you wish to discuss something?
We've come here to ask for the official protection of House D'Orsay for our friend Sybil.
For Lady de Vespe? Why not seek an audience with our own family? Seeing as how you are already working for them, it seems.
While we were investigating for them in hopes of receiving protection from the prince, we stumbled upon a shocking document.
That's putting it lightly, sir. After becoming familiar with its contents, it seemed difficult to continue to give my uncle our trust.
Consider my curiosity piqued. But first of all, would you mind explaining to me why you seek official protection in the first place?
It so happens that hired assassins have been hunting us for quite some time. Someone has placed a bounty on my head.
Really? I understand your concern. And it is certain that protection from the Prince d'Orsay would curb their enthusiasm. If the document you're referring to is as shocking as you say, I am sure that we will come to an agreement. But your uncle, on the other hand, will not take this kindly. I imagine that you are well aware.
Sybil, this concerns your protection as well as your family's. What do you want to do?
Thank you, my dear. I appreciate you letting me make this decision. After reading the letter from my parents, I must admit that the more I distance myself from the De Vesps, the better I feel.
Here you are. This is the document in question.
Let me have a look. The prince has completely lost his mind. How could he even consider such a contract? If this were revealed, he'd be finished. As for us, we have something to keep him on a short leash until the end of his reign. Thank you, young people. The Prince d'Orsay will be informed immediately of your loyal service. You may consider his protection acquired.
Thank you, Sir d'Argenton.
You can rest easy, Sybil. The d'Orsays honor their word, and they never abandon those who have worked for them.
We'll leave you to your work.
Thank you. Come back if you need my insights.
It was then that Madame de Cluse, you know, the one whose son is involved in it. May the Enlightened forgive me. Is that you, Sybil?
Sybil, my child, you've returned.
Father? Mother? I have returned from Elima. Yes. Allow me to present my friends. I met them there, and they have shown themselves to be marvelous companions.
My child, I am so happy to see you. We had heard that you had left your post at the embassy, but couldn't believe it. What happened? You seem troubled and you've lost weight.
Let her take a breath now. Come on, my little darling, tell us what happened.
Not long after my arrival in Elima, I was the victim of several assassination attempts. There was no doubt that hired assassins were on my trail. And then one of my friends contacted me. She needed help. So I decided to help and left Elima with her, hoping to lose the assassins on my journey. Alas, despite our meandering adventures and the arduous voyages we embarked upon, we were still frequently under attack. That led me to seek the protection of a prince. And while we were carrying out a mission to obtain it, I was given this letter.
What is in it?
It's a letter that you sent to my uncle, begging him to send me to Elima, rather than taking me as a concubine.
I remember that letter all too well. What else could we do?
It broke our heart to send you so far away from us, but we were not going to allow your uncle to lay a filthy hand on you.
I understand that entirely, of course. But were there not other solutions than exiling me so far away? I found myself completely alone, constantly under attack by bands of hired assassins, in perpetual danger of death.
It would have certainly been safer to find a solution that didn't require sending your daughter alone to a foreign country.
Forgive me, but you are foreigners. You don't know our family. You have no idea what it means to be a De Vespe.
I had hoped that you would never read this letter, that you would never learn to what degree of deprivation your uncle had fallen. At the same time, I am relieved that you now know why we sent you so far away from us. You can certainly blame us for the danger, and you know that my heart breaks because of all you suffered. But never would I have allowed that disgusting beast who shares our blood to make of you his favorite.
May the Enlightened forgive me. I believe I would have preferred killing him, even if it meant the deaths of all of us.
I was forced to ask for official protection from the Prince d'Orsay. There is no doubt that my uncle will see this as treasonous.
Who cares what he thinks? You did the right thing. We don't have the highest opinion of the d'Orsays, but they are known to be trustworthy in business.
You need to be careful from now on. We have no clue who is after me. Being now under protection, they might come after you.
Let them come. I could show them what happens when someone dares to attack my daughter.
Your mother is right. Don't worry about us at all.
We need to be going now. My friends and I still have much to do.
Take care of yourself, Sybil, and know that we love you tenderly.
Goodbye. Let's go, my friends. We should leave before tears cloud my eyes. How dare my uncle imagine, even for a moment, that I could become his concubine? That lecherous and misguided old man. And to think that my parents wanted to protect his reputation by keeping his sick fantasies from me.
Will you have to follow the family tradition and marry a nobleman?
Actually, I have already been engaged several times. I was 6 years old the first time, and my betrothed was 12. The poor angel died of a childhood illness a few months later. The second time, I was 10. That time, they found me an old baron. He was over 60 years old, can you imagine? Fortunately for me, death snatched him sooner than he expected. Finally, before I was sent to Alima, my parents wanted to betroth me to a young man from a very good family. But my uncle opposed their wishes. At the time, I didn't understand why.
Nothing can stop your family from finding you a new betrothed. What would you do if they did?
Today I love my freedom and independence too much to let anyone decide my future. To hell with tradition and family fortune. If I marry someone, it will be my own choice.
Friedenger? You still wish to talk to me despite my confession? I don't know how you could forgive me when I can't forgive myself.
Perfect timing. I've been meaning to talk to you. Alma told me she'd finished translating my mother's logbook. I don't have all the details. Unfortunately, our message was short. But she told me that the reason my mother, Estrella, died in that storm was because she'd lost the will to live. It was after she had to sink a ship on my father's orders, just off the coast, not far from Esquiara.
I'm sorry, Alvida. That must be very difficult to hear.
Yes. It breaks my heart to think that my mother killed herself. But it has strengthened my resolve. I want to understand. I want to know why my father gave such a senseless order. I want to know everything that happened. Knots are not pirates. Our ships are armed, but they're armed to fight back in the event of an attack. There had to be something aboard that ship to justify sinking it. Maybe something dangerous for the guild. I'd like to go back to Esquiara to try to track down that ship. And I'd like you to come with me.
All right. Let's go back to Esquiara and find out what happened to the wreck.
Thank you. I'm glad you're coming with me. I'm a bit nervous about what I'm going to find out.
How do you feel about returning to TFD? This time as the head of your own crew.
Oh, I am proud and happy to be steering my own ship towards your shores this time. And I promised, didn't I? I had to take you home, whatever it took. But I must admit that the idea of leaving you there and never seeing you again saddens me. We've been through so many adventures.
I will miss you too, Alvida. I will never forget what you did for us, and all those moments spent together. Hello? Do you live in this village?
Well, obviously I live here. Where else should I live?
I'd like to ask you a few questions about the beast attacks that occurred some time ago.
It was the worst day of my life, and probably the worst day for everyone here. But what's it to an islander? Does the beast have something to do with you? You go ahead, ask your questions. But this all seems a bit fishy to me.
Do you know where the creature went after the attack?
Why are you all so desperate to find this monster? Isn't all the death and damage it's done enough? Do you want more? I'll tell you what I told those scholars. I don't know where it went. I didn't see anything.
Scholars?
Some fellows from the city who are asking the same questions as you. They may think they're clever, but they're idiots if you ask me. Looking for that thing means running the risk of it coming back here, and we've had enough of that, thank you very much.
We shall leave now. Thank you for your welcome.
That's it. Goodbye.
Good day. Do you live in this village?
Yes, I've lived here all my life. Why?
Were you present during the attack of that giant creature a while back?
Unfortunately, yes. It was horrible. I still have nightmares about it.
Can you tell us what you saw? Do you know what happened to the creature?
Honestly, I'd rather not have to think back to that day. Everything was so confusing. It was dreadful. I remember I was fixing my damaged nets when I heard the first screams. Ooh, and that terrible roaring. I was so terrified that I crawled under my boat, which is probably what saved me. I peeked out every now and then, horrified by what I was hearing. I saw the monster knock some of my friends down with a single swipe as it chased after a man who jumped into a boat. When it didn't see any more movement, it headed southeast and even knocked down the arch there. Oh, it took us weeks to rebuild it and put the village back in order. And we're still mourning our dead.
I'm very sorry for your loss. Thank you for sharing your story with us. Do you happen to know anything about a ship that was wrecked not far from this village?
It happened a few years ago. A rather large cargo ship sailing up and down the coast sank, not far from here.
No. Sorry. I don't recall hearing anything about that.
We will take our leave. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Hello? Do you live in this village?
Yes, I was born here, I grew up here, and as you can see, I'm still here. I'd have a hard time living anywhere else in my age. Why, are you thinking of moving here? A little new blood wouldn't hurt.
Have you heard anything about a shipwreck in the vicinity?
You're gonna need to be more precise, child. Shipwrecks with all our deadly reefs happen all the time.
We're speaking about a ship transporting merchandise along these coasts that must have wrecked a few years ago.
Now that you speak about it, that does ring a bell. The storm without clouds.
The storm without clouds?
It was night time, and we heard thunder several times, so loud that many woke to it. But there wasn't a cloud in the sky. The next day we found the wreckage of a large ship at the bottom of the cliffs. Bodies too, poor folk. And all sorts of debris.
I doubt it was due to a storm.
Really?
We shall leave. Have a nice day.
Have a nice day. You again? What else do you want?
What do you know about the wreck that's north of the village?
Not much. It's been there for a long time. Back then, a lot of soldiers, even some Nauts, came poking around.
Poking around? What do you mean?
They go snooping around, asking everyone questions. They were investigating, they said, but it seemed like they were looking for something.
We shall leave now. Thank you for your welcome.
That's it. Goodbye.
Hello? How can I help you? Are you lost?
What do you know about the shipwreck located at the foot of the cliffs near the village?
A shipwreck, you say? Really? I never noticed that there was one there.
We were told that villagers recovered quite a few things after the shipwreck that took place a few years ago. Did you take anything?
That must have taken place before I settled here. I never heard anyone speak of a shipwreck. So to be sure, I didn't take anything from it.
Well, well. I wonder what this coffer is holding.
You followed me. But who are you really? Are you one of the Nauts that attacked us? Or are you with the corrupted soldiers of the Alliance?
We are neither one nor the other. Our friend Alvida is a Naut, but she was not involved in this attack.
That is true, I assure you. We wish you no harm.
Forgive me. I was so afraid when you came to find me in the village. And to see you here didn't make things easier.
You seemed far too nervous, and your answers were not making any sense. We decided to watch you, and we were right to do so, it seems.
I was on that ship. I was traveling with my husband we were headed for the congregation. It was strange. There were armed men aboard. We were told they were there to protect a diplomat, but we never saw anyone. One night, we were attacked by a vessel flying Naut colors. Our ship was sunk. I thought I was dead, but somehow I survived. My husband didn't have as much luck. Shortly after washing ashore, Nauts and soldiers came to interrogate everyone in the village. I had supposed they had come to finish their work, so I hid the documents I had collected after being washed ashore. I was hoping that they would be useful in bringing justice someday, but that was long ago. I lead a peaceful existence here now, and when you came asking questions, I thought it would be better to get rid of all of it once and for all.
I am very sorry. We didn't want to frighten you. I have come here precisely with the goal of shedding light on what happened to your ship. I would like to know why Nauts would have committed such an atrocity that goes against all the codes our guild defends.
Please, take these documents. I have never even read them. Touching them even pains me. I hope they will help you understand.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I find this hard to believe. My father wouldn't order the destruction of a ship transporting a diplomat. Why would he have been working against a chance at peace? My father can be vain, but he's not a warmonger. And to imagine that he brought my mother into this. Now I understand our despair.
Don't you think it's a little early to be accusing your father? There must be factors unknown to us at present.
Perhaps, yes. Even if what these documents spell out seems all too clear. Thank you for accompanying me and your support in this investigation. I couldn't have done it without you. Now I am going to need some time to think all this over. I'm sorry. I'm still processing what we've learned. The thought that my father could have given such an order is deeply painful to me.
Forgive my question, but how do relationships between Nauts work? I'm thinking of your admiral father and your captain mother. They couldn't have been together very often.
Oh, it's true that relationships with a Naut are not easy. We are at sea, sometimes for months. And when on different ships, it complicates things even more. Some take lovers at every port or among the crew. Others remain faithful. Love is a strange thing. And when it's true, neither time nor distance can shake it. At least in my opinion. What would you do if you fell in love with one of us?
I would remain faithful, of course. And I'd hope that the wind would bring them back as quickly as possible.
That's a very noble way of seeing things. But aren't you afraid that the loneliness would weigh you down? Personally, I don't know if I'd be able to take a lover if I were to live far from the person I love. Just like you. But then again, it's easy to have principles.
I know you already have a lot to do, but I would still like to ask a favor, if you could spare a moment. While I was studying in Alima, I had a friend. A very dear friend that I would like to find. It was someone very knowledgeable, a true bookworm. But he was also someone with human virtue. In addition to the joy I would feel to see him again, I believe having an ally within the Alliance could be useful to us. It's been a long time since we last met, and I don't know where to find him. But his cousin Baran could certainly tell us. He's a merchant who owns a warehouse in the port of Alima. If you agree, we could go and see him together.
Of course. Let's go see this Baran.
Thank you. It's extremely kind of you to follow the whim of an old woman.
You stupid merchant. Who do you take yourself for? Do you really think yourself irreplaceable? Dozens of poor souls are ready to take your job.
I am truly sorry. It won't happen again. I give you my word. Gentlemen, I beg of you, there is no need to resort to violence. I would never dare to try to...
Shut up, merchant. Consider yourself lucky that the warehouse is still standing. What made you think you could trick us?
Baran, is everything all right?
Stay out of this! Move along! The warehouse is closed! Wait! That islander's face is familiar to me. Where have I seen it?
I don't think I've seen you before.
You must certainly be mistaken. This young man arrived with me by boat this very day. There is no way you could possibly have met him before.
Very well. Move along.
At ease, soldier. The merchant got the message. Now dismissed. We need to talk to him too.
Well then, Captain, I hope Mr. Baran will remember what we spoke to him about. And that he will demonstrate initiative in repaying his debts.
Yes, of course. Goes without saying. Don't worry, you'll be more than satisfied with my next delivery.
I hope so. And don't dally. I wouldn't want it to be thought that we're being patient with someone intent on double-crossing us.
Ah, you've come in the nick of time. I thought they were going to kill me. Thank you, Saphir. And your friends as well. I don't know what they would have done to me if you hadn't come.
Please, it's nothing. What did those soldiers want?
I was supposed to deliver something to them, but got my orders mixed up and they didn't receive what they were expecting. They apparently thought I was trying to pull one over on them. But you didn't come to hear me complain. What can I do for you?
I'm looking for your cousin. I know it's been years, but I was hoping to see him again.
My cousin? Haven't you heard? He's left for Tirfredi. He wanted to follow in your footsteps, to see the world with his own two eyes. Frankly, he's not cut out for it if you ask me, but he went anyway. Come to think of it, before he departed Alima, he left me something for you.
Really? What is it?
I haven't opened it. I think it was his latest research. It was very important to him anyway. I didn't keep it here. As you can see, just anyone can waltz right into this warehouse, and I was afraid it would fall into the wrong hands. I had it taken to my other warehouse in Esquiara. You can go and pick it up there. I'll send a bird to let the person in charge know you're coming.
Thank you, Baran. We'll do just that. And be careful. Those soldiers didn't seem to be joking around. What orders?
We were hired to kill you and the other Continentals when you got here. We were also ordered to capture any islanders who were with you.
We were sent straight into a trap. Is there even a package for you here?
I don't know anything about that. If there is, we weren't told about it.
I can't believe this. Let's spare their lives, please. They're nothing more than lackeys.
Lackeys who could warn their employer that we survived their trap.
Tell us who gave you your orders, and choose your words carefully. Your life hangs by a thread.
It was a merchant. Baran.
Of course it was. After the attack, I suspected as much, but I can't believe he'd do such a thing.
Why did he want to capture us?
For a client, I think. But he didn't give us a name.
So, he's got himself mixed up in the slave trade. The Baran I knew would never stoop so low.
Go on, get out of here. I hope never to see you again.
Thank you for your mercy.
Whatever could have possessed Baran to make him try to kill us and capture you, he will have to answer for this. Explain to us what this is all about. Let's return to Alima. Do you agree?
Let's go. I thought this Baran was a friend. But in fact, he doesn't care for you at all. He treats you like you're some vermin and doesn't hesitate to send you to your death.
I would never have thought that possible. I know that people change, but to change entirely? One thing is certain. the scores will be settled. Let's return to Alima. I'm eager to hear how he will explain all of this.
Stop! You can't come in here. This is a private warehouse.
We're friends of Baran's. He may have told you about us. We helped him the other day when he was being roughed up by some guards.
You could be his blessed mother and it wouldn't change a thing. The master isn't here. And since he didn't tell me to let you in, you don't get to go in.
When did he leave? Where was he going?
He left a while ago, but if you think he tells me where he's going every time he leaves, do I look like his wife or something?
Do you know whether he took a ship or joined a caravan?
No.
We're not here to cause any trouble. Your master double-crossed us. We're just looking for proof so we can get our money back.
Sounds like the master's up to his old tricks. If you were to slip me a little something for my trouble, I'll let you in.
Here you go. And thank you for being so understanding.
Don't mention it. Go on in.
I think we have learned everything that there is to learn here. We should exit the area before running into even more trouble.
We haven't searched everywhere. There might still be something to discover within this warehouse. Baran is exploiting his cousin's trip to our island to expand both his fortune and network. It's my people who are paying the price.
I remember how Baran could be full of himself when I was involved with his cousin. But I would never have thought him capable of this.
Has this association been going on for a long time?
Kurnaz has only just begun to gain weight politically, but they could have known each other previously. Kurnaz has always been a man willing to do anything to get what he wants. He might well have encouraged Baran's cousin to take up an enterprise that promised him a profitable outcome. But the man I once loved would never have agreed to any of that. He was a man of knowledge, a kind person with empathy for others. We were even betrothed for a while, and it goes without saying that I would never have accepted a proposal from someone corrupt. No. Kurnaz must have tricked him, promising to finance his expedition without speaking of the horrible services he would be forced to provide in return.
Your former fiancé could have found an alternative source of financing.
Of course. That's the main reason I'm convinced that he was misled. That letter broke my heart. We parted as friends, separating because our visions on life and science differed too greatly. I find it hard to believe that he would have fallen into such commerce. But believe me, if we go to Tir-Fredi and our paths cross, I will demand he makes amends for his actions. The fact he used ties with your people to better exploit you makes me see red.
We shall see when the time comes. First, we need to get to Tir-Fredi.
That's true. Forgive me. I know this is a painful subject. I feel so foolish to have believed that we could have found help from this friend. We might think we've accumulated all the wisdom of the world, seen it all, grasped human nature. It's still so easy to find oneself surprised. Or should I say, disappointed. I thank you for standing beside me during this sordid affair, and to have opened my eyes. Let's leave now. I want you to know how guilty I feel for involving you in such a dangerous affair. I was so naive. I was hoping to find help and support from someone I greatly respect. But all I did was get you caught up with Baran. Some people are frightfully venal. It shocks and disappoints me. I hope you'll forgive me.
Thus we are descended from the ancient kings of Astria. It's a funny feeling, you know.
What does it change? We all descend from someone, whether it be a king or a simple hunter. What does it matter?
Your heart is far too pure to understand the fascination for ancestry on this continent.
See you later.
I certainly hope so.
You've come back. How can I help you?
The letter you sent. What was it about? Why do you wish to speak with us?
It is a very serious matter. Someone from outside our guild attempted to sneak into the restricted area of the Great Library. The guard apprehended the person in question easily. It was a spy from Teleme. But she refused to tell us why she's here. I need to discover how she was able to get past our security measures and what she took. You must understand, this part of the library is protected by devices that only those who are authorized know how to use. Meaning, only Naughts that have attained the rank of captain. Our great library houses the entire bank of knowledge the Naughts have gathered. The other nations covet it, you can be sure. If the nations of Gakan had access, they would no longer need our services. Our very existence depends on this knowledge. They could sail and pillage the islands we've discovered as they please. Other islands would suffer the same fate as Tir Fridi. It is imperative that you discover what brought this spy here, and especially how she was able to break in.
Why not ask the guard to carry out this investigation?
We have an uninvited rat hiding in the hull. I am convinced that only one of my sister or brother Naughts could have let the spy into the restricted area. Until I found the culprit, and let's hope there be only one, I can trust no one except for you. Please, go and interrogate the prisoner. Try to discover the identity of her guide. And please use the utmost discretion. No one must know why you're visiting the prisoner.
Do you know what she took?
I haven't had the time to organize a complete inventory, but I am hoping the prisoner will tell you what she was after. Though the guards didn't find anything on her, she may have had time to hide whatever she stole.
I can't believe a Naught could have put us all in danger like this.
I was astounded as well. But until I have proof that one of our own was not involved, I can't take any risks. Please, keep everything I have just told you to yourselves until we find whoever did this.
I don't like keeping what we know from sisters and brothers of the sea, but I understand. I just can't wrap my mind around such a betrayal.
Thank you for trusting us. We will try to get to the bottom of this.
May the winds fill your sails.
I understand why she wouldn't answer. She's not breathing. Look at her cheeks. They're red and her pupils are dilated. She's been poisoned. I believe you called this poison belladonna on the continent.
She practiced a dangerous profession, and she paid with her life. If we want answers, we're going to have to search her.
There's nothing in her scarf. Nothing. Her jacket is the first thing the guards would have searched. There's nothing in her pockets, and there's no lining to hide anything in. Well, have a look at this. There's a secret pocket in her boots, and there are notes inside.
It's a long number. I'm no library rat, but given the circumstances, it must be the reference of the document she was meant to steal. What's on the other one?
It's a series of odd symbols. It could be a coded message. There is nothing more to learn here, I'm afraid. We should return to see the Master Librarian and report our findings.
That's an excellent suggestion. He'll be able to tell us more about the stolen document and might even know this strange code.
You've come back. How can I help you?
We were able to enter the prison without anyone suspecting a thing.
Did the prisoner tell you anything?
That would have been difficult, seeing as how she was dead when we found her.
What? How is that possible? Well, how did she die?
She was poisoned. Belladonna was used.
Well, that rules out suicide. If she'd had a vial of poison, it would have been found when she was searched. Did you learn anything at all? Perhaps by searching her?
Yes. There was a secret pocket in her boots. We found these two notes. One contains a number that we think refers to the document she was to steal from the Great Library. The other is a list of exotic symbols, some sort of code. Do they mean anything to you?
No. But wait. Perhaps it's not a code, but rather a series of directions. This first symbol, for example, makes me think of a mermaid carrying a fishing rod, which corresponds to the name of our tavern. It could be a covert way of showing our spy the way to find her contacts. As for this number, by the eels! I believe it's a map from the most secret part of the library. Let me check that right away. One of our maps is missing! It's a map that reveals the location of an island yet undiscovered by those on the continent. This is a disaster! Is that all you found on the spy?
Yes. Whoever killed her must have taken the missing map. After the spy stole it, she was of no utility to him. And her murder in our prison confirms your suspicions. There were noughts involved.
We must find that map, or you and I both know all too well what fate will befall the people who live on that island. See what you can do to decipher these symbols. Follow the trail. It's the only lead we have to finding the people behind all this. Good luck. And be on your guard. The death of that spy proves that they're capable of anything.
We found a notebook. It says that the people who were here had some sort of business to do at the cove in the backcountry.
We should go there. I want to know who's behind this.
What are you all doing out here? You following us?
We caught you red-handed. You orchestrated a break-in of the Great Library, during which you stole a map. A map that you had hoped to sell to Teleme.
You've discovered our little operation. That's a shame. However, I'm certain there must be a way to make this go away.
You cannot seriously mistake this person for a bastion of scruples. This deal seems highly unlikely to be respected. I am well aware that you are part of my father's flotilla. What do you think he will say when we reveal your implication in this sordid business?
The Admiral will be surprised to learn that members of his crew have betrayed the guild, casting the shadow of doubt upon his authority. What do you think he'll have done to you?
By every foul wind I've ever crossed, couldn't you stay on your island and stop nosing around on ours? Here, take your map and forget us. The Admiral does not need to be sullied by this matter.
You've come back. How can I help you?
We followed the thief's trail using the documents we found in the spy's belongings.
Now that's mighty good news. Tell me everything.
The symbols were a treasure hunt of sorts that led to an old warehouse. There we found a note that mentioned a meeting near a cove in the backcountry.
And you went there, I imagine. Did you find the traitors?
Yes. We tried to listen in to their conversation, but we were discovered.
That's truly unfortunate. But it's not easy to spy on spies. Were you able to recover the map?
Yes, we found the map. Here, take it.
Thank you. It's a relief to have it back. I will make sure it never leaves these library walls again. Were you able to identify any of the traitors?
We'd seen the woman who seemed to be their leader before. She spoke with Admiral Barcelos after our trial.
I will ask the Admiral if he recalls her name. We will find her, thanks to your help. If we can capture her, we will certainly be able to unmask the other traitors. Thank you for everything. Not only did you save a people from brutal colonization, but you did it with the utmost discretion. And thanks to your help, I have no doubt we'll catch those rascal traitors. Here, take this as a token of my appreciation for your help.
Much obliged, friend.
If ever you should need my help, I would be more than happy to assist you.
Why did those idiots have to choose a place this filthy? Ugh!
There you are at last. Oh, I'm a little surprised. I was expecting to see one of my friends with you.
Do you mean Fausta? She wasn't able to come with us, but I believe the two of you spoke.
Indeed. And seeing you, I better understand her interest in my husband's schemes. Please allow me to introduce myself. I am Zerrin, wife to General Kernaz, a man whose path you've crossed under tragic circumstances, which trouble me greatly. He has always been driven by a thirst for power and glory, but he is a mere man-at-arms, which here means little. However, his successes on the battlefield and the confidence of his men have gone to his head. He has become obsessed with a single dream of late: to become emperor of a country that does not yet exist. A folly that, fortunately, few are prepared to accept, unless he is able to find support amongst the population. This he hopes to do by solving the problem of the native uprisings on Tir Fredi, at the expense of Governor Burhan.
I'm sorry to tell you this, madam, but your husband has lost his mind. How does he expect to accomplish such a thing?
Unfortunately, he doesn't tell me everything. You're going to have to find out for yourself, which is why I've asked you to meet me here. He and his supporters use this warehouse occasionally, so you may find some clues here. Find out what he's up to. Gather evidence, and I'll do everything in my power to help you. I know a representative of Morsinia, someone with influence, and whose politics are diametrically opposed to my husband's imperialist ambitions. I could introduce you, but we'll need solid evidence in order for any action to be taken.
I'm no stranger to this kind of place. Under the cover of harmless goods, more interesting things are easily hidden there.
Be quick in any case, because his men could show up at any time, and you don't want to be discovered. Let me know as soon as you have something solid. One last thing. I thought I saw some posters about you. It seems that at least some of you are wanted by the guard. I shall do my best to have the notice cancelled, but it's going to take some time. Please be careful until then. I must leave you. My absence must not be noticed. Above all, be extremely careful.
I think we've seen enough.
Agreed. And now we need to focus on understanding what we've discovered. We must consult someone who knows about both Kernaz's activities and the sciences. One of my good friends fits that description perfectly. She works in the science district.
Let's go, before we're taken in by who knows who.
What a surprise! What are you doing here? You've no business here. This is a private warehouse. It belongs to important people. Are you thieves of some sort? I would highly advise you to drop what you're holding and run for it immediately.
We are not thieves. We work for the owner of this place. He ordered us to come over here and transfer some crates into this warehouse.
Really? Well, you're gonna have to inform him that only Naughts have the right to work here. He may have got permission to use a private warehouse, but that doesn't mean he can go and use his own workers. Especially since he's been making us work hard enough as it is. You here to move his materials into the sewers?
Not this time, no. He asked us to bring a crate of fragile things. We dropped it off and now we'll just be on our way. You can be sure that we'll let him know that our presence isn't welcome here.
Very well then. Get going.
Move along there. Only persons in possession of a pass can enter here.
Elise, I'm happy to see you're doing well.
Safia, I thought you were still traveling halfway across the world. It's a pleasure to see you again. But you didn't come alone. Who are your friends?
We met in Euxantis and we discovered we had common interests. But that's a long story for another time. Allow me to introduce you to Elise, a logician of Alima a great mathematician and longtime friend.
Pleased to meet you.
As am I. I'm very happy to meet you. Safia's friends are my friends too. She was my mentor, and I owe everything to her. Please, let me also introduce my associates. Can, one of the city's leading pathologists and anatomists.
Nice to meet you.
And this is Bilgin, one of our most brilliant philosophers.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
But you must have come here for a reason. What can we do for you?
We found scientific equipment in warehouses belonging to Kornas and his supporters.
There were retorts, lots of glassware, as well as tools that immediately brought surgery to mind.
Kurnaz is a military man. I don't see what he could be doing with this kind of equipment. Of course, there are doctors and surgeons who travel with the army, but they wouldn't need beakers or glassware.
And they're more like butchers than researchers.
We need to understand what this equipment is going to be used for. We know that Kornas has a plan for my people. And after what was done to us on the ship that brought us here, I need to know what he's got in mind.
What did they do to you?
Someone in a bird mask came, slashed our arms open and rubbed a scrap of fabric on the wound. We recovered quickly, but one of our friends died.
I'm very sorry about that. My condolences for your loss.
You were inoculated to protect you against a disease. It's a risky but highly effective procedure. Unfortunately, it seems that your friend succumbed to the disease. Either that, or she was part of a control group.
In any case, I now understand why you're worried.
The equipment you saw was used for scientific research, which in Olima is largely carried out here. And we have it on good authority that none of the scholars who work here work for them.
Could they have taken over Asili's old laboratory?
You're right. That would be the perfect place to conduct research in secret.
What can you tell me about this laboratory?
Asili was a doctor and pathologist who was given his own laboratory in the city, a place dedicated solely to research on disease. When he left the city for your island, the laboratory closed down. It seems to me that only a team of his former assistants still goes there to sort through his discoveries.
There are many rumors about the place. It doesn't have a good reputation.
Oh, some say that there are underground rooms used to hide dreadful experiments, but that's ridiculous.
But there is often a grain of truth in rumors. In any case, this nearly abandoned laboratory would be the ideal place for experiments.
Where is it?
Not far from here, just downhill.
Who is Asili?
A remarkable physician and pathologist. He discovered the principle of inoculation, which makes a person resistant to a specific disease.
He has the most brilliant mind in the field. His work has given our research a new impetus, and he has saved thousands of lives.
That's true, but he's also a man whose reputation has become rather scandalous in recent years.
Now, gentlemen, we're not here to entertain rumors spread by the city's students.
Thank you for your help. We're going to visit the laboratory.
Although it's nearly closed today, it is still guarded. The research carried out there could be dangerous in the wrong hands. Be careful.
Thanks again, Elise. I'll let you know what we find out.
You again? Listen, I've already told you. This building is closed to the public.
If you let me speak to her, I believe I can convince her to let us enter.
Safia?
Hello, soldier. You should have been informed I was coming. I need to write a report for the logician Halise. I was asked to write up an inventory of all the works kept here. My assistants and I must unfortunately disturb your calm and ask you to let us in.
I haven't received any orders about this. I'm sorry, but...
It seems that someone forgot to send the message from our logician again. You know, I'm beginning to suspect that someone in the administration is trying to keep her from being elected Sopharch. This inventory can't wait any longer. The council needs it. I promise not to break or damage anything inside. We just need to make a list of all the books in the laboratory that were borrowed from the university.
Well, I guess that won't do any harm. You can enter.
So, you're the ones stirring up all the trouble. My men are in need of some serious training if they allowed a puny band of louts, led by a savage, make it this far. And how considerate of you to have come all this way. I understand your impatience to serve science. And look who we have here. Till the deserter. The weakling who took refuge with our enemies to protect himself from the consequences of his cowardice. But enough gossiping. Guards, take them. Our scientists will be happy to have a few new subjects for their experiments.
You think we're just going to give up without a fight? Is everyone all right?
Kurnaz chose my successor well. That man knew how to make his men obey him, and they were ready to die for him.
Since everyone is safe and sound, I think it would be wise to get going, and fast. We won't be able to hold off forever against another wave of soldiers.
Adlor Hedar, thank you, brother. So many of our own were taken inside the building, never to return. Without the help of you and your strange friends, we would have surely died here.
Come, we must leave this place at once, avoiding the camp as much as possible.
We shall follow you.
We're finally out of that hellhole.
Thank you. It's such a comfort to feel the sun on our faces after being locked up in the bowels of the earth. But we're not really safe, are we? They'll surely be coming after us.
We've been there too. We've got to get you out of town first.
My companions in misfortune and smuggling would be happy to take them with them. They'll know how to get them to a safe place.
Well, we'll find a solution. Stay here. We'll come back for you as soon as possible. These are the people I told you about.
Hey there. Take care of these people and take them somewhere they won't run into any guards. Believe me, after what they've been through, they've earned some peace and quiet.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your help. May the earth carry you always.
Well, have you found out where Kurnaz has been carrying out his experiments?
Yes. We discovered a gigantic site under Rasili's laboratory.
Imagine that. The rumor was true. Incredible.
There were a great many soldiers, but also a place where experiments were carried out on my people.
How horrible. And these experiments were done on Kurnaz's orders?
Yes. We found letters that make a direct reference to him, as well as scientific research documents.
But however did you discover this place?
When searching the old laboratory that you indicated to us, we found a hidden lift. It went down into the depths of the earth until it stopped in ancient ruins.
That must certainly be the thermal baths from the Astrian period.
While exploring the zone, we stumbled across the camp of a soldier who was protecting an underground building. Inside the building they carried out experiments, and my kin were held captive. These are research documents that we found in the laboratory. None of us understand what they mean, but we need clear proof of what these people are up to.
May I take a look? This is beyond my capacities, even though I do recognize a few formulas. Can, I suppose that you would be far more able to understand what this is all about?
If I could help you, it would be with pleasure. But I'm going to need some time to decode all of this.
We'd better let him work in peace. You should come back later.
I would prefer to wait here if it's all right with you.
Of course. You should make yourself comfortable. It's going to take a little while.
We should take advantage of our wait to send Zerin a message asking for a meeting. It would save us some time.
Excellent idea.
Here are your documents and our explanatory notes. What you've discovered is terrifying.
We thought as much. But what exactly is it?
This research is inhumane. It violates the code of ethics that is the very foundation of medicine. It has only one goal: to spread death.
The scientists behind this research studied a number of contagious diseases in order to selectively infect and eliminate your people. They chose smallpox as the perfect candidate.
Smallpox?
It's a terrible, often fatal disease that causes a high fever and vomiting. Its most recognizable symptom is the rash and blisters it causes to form all over the body.
That's what killed Sheda.
I'm sorry for your friend, and I'm appalled that a project like that could ever have seen the light of day. The disease is so contagious that even fabric that has been in contact with someone who is sick can spread it. Since your people seem to be more sensitive to this disease than us, and you haven't been inoculated against it like we have, you can imagine what will happen.
We must stop this project at all costs. Let's hope Zaren's contact is convinced by this evidence and can help us. Why was Sheda the only one of us to die?
You told us you were inoculated. I think the scientists on the ship wanted to see if this method would work on your people as well. You're living proof that it does. Your friend, on the other hand, must not have received the same treatment.
Thank you for helping us understand this research.
I truly hope that you will be able to stop this project from being implemented. It's an abomination.
We'll leave you to your research.
Goodbye. Please feel free to come back anytime you need help.
Oh, there you are. I got your message, and I'm glad to see you're safe and sound. My husband's men can be so violent. Were you able to find out what he's plotting? Did you gather evidence we can use to have him arrested?
Yes. Your husband has scientists carrying out experiments on my people under the greatest secrecy. They discovered that we are more susceptible to smallpox than you are. They intend to use it to selectively eliminate us. Their aim is to conquer our island without having to fight.
How awful. Were you able to retrieve any documents that demonstrate this and prove that he's involved?
Yes. We have research documents. Accounts of experiments that were translated, as it were, by some scholars we know.
Excellent. When I received your message, I immediately sent word to one of my contacts, the Morsinian ambassador. He's a level-headed man, well-versed in diplomacy, who will know how to put an end to this madness, I'm sure. Here's a pass that will get you to the embassy in the military district. Go and see him as soon as you can.
Thank you. You aren't coming with us?
I don't want my husband to know that I'm helping you. It's far too risky. One last thing. I pulled some strings, and you're no longer wanted. You should be able to get around town without any trouble. But avoid fighting, especially with the guards. Let me know if you need my help with anything else, and be careful.
Goodbye, Sarah. And thank you.